Hello everyone, welcome to my stream. I forgot to put out a message that I was live. One moment. I'm doing a thing, I'm being responsible. I'm gonna say... Time for Tech Friday. Talking about email. And then... open up a new tab and come on in. Adding links. I should have added. There's the Twitch one. Now the YouTube. Getting the YouTube. Copying the YouTube. Pasting the YouTube. Exiting out. Posting. Yeah. I did a thing. I announced my stream was going. I'm good. I'm pro streamer. I've done this before. Really? No, it's true. I have multiple streams. Alright, hey, I'm DC. If you don't know me, I'm a producer of TTRPG actual plays, moderator of many places, streamer, content creator, person that likes tech. And if you want to find out about all my stuff, including free TTRPG resources, go to dclasair.com to find all the things that are me. And follow me on Blue Sky, because it's great there. I post things, and you get the midnight to 2 a.m. thoughts, which are valuable. Anyway, thanks all for being here. I really appreciate you coming on in. Today is indeed Tech Friday. We will be talking about email providers and what's going on there. Just give people a little more time to come on in. And let's see, what else am I doing? I don't know what else I'm doing. Oh yes, I was getting yet another link that I should have gotten. Oh, I gotta check something real quick. In case it's... in case it's related to anything currently doing. Okay, something to look at later. All right. No emergency. Yay! That's the best part, really. Okay, let me get another thing open. Okay, view this dashboard. Copy that link. All right, so I am an affiliate for Fantasy Grounds. If you purchase anything through Fantasy Grounds, they do share some of that commission with me. Or they do give me a small commission off that sale, I think is the right way to say that. I don't know. Anyway, go take a look. They have a wonderful new reader app, which is in beta, so not everything's added there yet, but will be. It's pretty fantastic. They're designing it to be screen reader friendly. So go there, do the thing, and the VTT, Fantasy Grounds VTT, is now also free. So you can have a look at that as well. And if you decide to buy any games to use with their VTT, by all means, use my affiliate link. It'll help me out. All right, what else we got going today? Let's see here. Double check. Gonna like that. And we'll be talking about email in just a moment. Oh, there was a thing. Sorry, I'm making sure I am catching up with the news. Okay. Any last minute things? Hope you're all doing okay. Hope your weeks went well. And that you have things to look forward to for the weekend. Oh, let me take care of one more thing. You're just here while I'm getting started, so you know. It's fun. Gotta block something. Okay, what else do we got here? Oh, hey. Okay, got a new thing to talk about in just a bit. Wanted to make sure I had that up. Anything else? Anything else? No, I think we're all set to go. Let me triple check, double check, check the check. I don't know. Do the thing. Okay, all that is set. Reload. Everything working. Yay. All right. Welcome, everybody, to my stream. Today is another Tech Friday. Yay! Today we're talking about email, going over an Obsidian plugin, and some TTRPG news. Yeah. All right. Let's get to it with email. So, you may have seen a story floating around that Gmail has activated smart features on by default, which is true. Does this mean, as it's claimed, that they're using Gemini to read through all your emails? Google says no. People are assuming yes. There is no official documentation to prove this. Right? Someone just saw the setting, said, oh, smart features obviously means, but yet they've been using the term smart features for years to mean, you know, those 3 tabs you have in your Gmail, the promotion and all that. Yeah, those are there. So you can still go and take care of it. But again, there's no word that this is what is happening, at least as far as official documentation within Gmail goes. It says, yeah, you can use Gemini for these things, but we're not doing anything with Gemini and your data stuff. However, I totally understand being worried about this, and you know, I have concern. So if you do want to turn off the smart features just in case, you go up to the gear that on the web browser is in your upper right corner. The gear icon settings. And then you're going to scroll down. I'm not showing this because I don't want to show my account. There's something, there's a thing that says nudges, smart reply, ads in Gmail, smart features. Right? So you want the smart features option, and you can click learn more there. And you can read what Google says they're doing with smart features and what they're not doing with smart features. So click learn more there, decide if you want to do it. Don't just follow what someone posted, because again, they don't have any proof and Google says that. Now, you click that, it's just a checkbox, you turn it off. And then your primary promotions, social updates, tabs, those all disappear. You get one unified email list, and then you can create your own rules and things if you want if you still want promotions and socials and updates separated out like that. Otherwise, it does remove all of that. And yeah, go on. And maybe that will be the fix. Also, everything's still on a Google platform, right? So that's not a guarantee that they wouldn't use Gemini to do that. Again, Google's not expressly saying that, but I know there's a couple articles up, a news site, linked to someone's Blue Sky post. But again, that Blue Sky post just says, hey, do this because blah, blah, blah. And we're like, well, where's the proof? It's just suspicion of large corporations, which is always good to have. And, is it accurate? The problem is I don't know. The problem is there's no way to independently verify. That's my big issue. That there's no way to check this out and make sure that that's what is or is not happening. So up to you what you want to believe. I'm not here to tell you one way or the other. Just saying there's a couple versions of a story out. And I want you to be, I'd rather you be more well informed about what's going on than just reacting to what somebody posts on Blue Sky. Or any other media platform or anything. And, and when I saw a news site post about it, I looked at the news site, and their only reference was this Blue Sky post that I saw yesterday. So that's still not evidence of it that going on. But again, just in case, we're talking about emails, other email solutions. Now, here's the thing with getting away from Google. Just be aware, there's a lot here, right? There's Google Drive, Gmail, and any other Google services you use for things. So if you shared a file with your friends, or you have something publicly available via G Drive, do you keep it on G Drive? Or do you take it down and then anyone trying to get that finds the old link and doesn't know how to get to the new link and therefore never interacts with your thing? What about your Android phone? What happens to the pictures you take on it? Where do those go? Can you change that? Does an Android phone really work without a Google account on it. And so these email things only replace email. They don't replace Google Drive or anything else. For that, you're going to need separate cloud storage provider, which we talked about cloud storage last week. We'll talk a little more about that this week. But I did do some research, and I looked through some email providers, watched some videos, clicked through sites, and I want to go through a few of my favorites. We're going to start with the big one that everyone talks about often, which is Proton Mail. Let me pull up the window. Whoop, right there. Or sorry, there, that way. It's opposite for you, and I forget, because for me it's over here, but for you it's right there. So Proton Mail has a bunch of stuff. Here's their fancy website. What we want to know about is pricing. So you do get free, 1 gigabyte, 1 user, 1 email address. Now these are their 12-month plans. And if you want to pay per month for your email, again, Gmail's free. Right? So if you want to pay right now, there's a bunch of Black Friday deals going on. So at present, you can get $249 a month, but after your first 12 months becomes about $47.88, so $48 for their low-end plan, which is 15 gigs of storage, 1 user, 10 extra email addresses. So if you want to add to your monthly or yearly expenses, Proton Mail is a choice. Again, they do have a free plan, and maybe that's good enough for you. They do have nice levels of encryption and everything like that, and you'll find bunches of reviews on it as well. Another one I found out about, and we'll just go to it here, is mailbox.org. And right on their pricing, so this is £250 per month. Again, save 16%. 30 euros, not pound. These are euros. So let's see what that would be. Let's do a conversion. So that's about $2.88 US. You can see you get 10 gigs of email, 25 aliases at mailbox.org. Custom domain names can be used. Again, lots of privacy features with Mailbox. But again, these are and there is a light, which is one euro per month, which is about $1.15. So the annual price on that would be $13.81 USD. Right? And then you can click the Y's. And remember, this is just for email. This doesn't include things like a cloud drive or anything like that. So you can see they're ad-free and transparent, end-to-end encryption, made and hosted in Germany, all in one place, right? So they give you a good comparison chart. They again show you who trusts them, all that. But the one I like is called Tuda. And we can go to pricing, yearly. You can see they have a free, fully encrypted, no tracking, 1 gigabit storage, You get a calendar, 3 labels. That's okay. The Legend right now, again, this is yearly prices. So you'd pay per year €3 a month. But normally, after the sale is over, that goes to €8 a month for their big plan. Now, where I think the deal is, and I'm not sure what this is because they have €3 here, but then it's crossed out and it's still €3 per month for the for the year. So, what's going on there? However, you get fully encrypted, no tracking, 20 gigabytes of storage, unlimited number of calendars, 15x. I think this is probably enough for most people. And there are business plans. So if you're looking at yearly, what is... So €3 right now is about $3.45 US. And quick math. So for the year, you'd be paying $41.40 per year for this. Or you can go monthly, which is slightly more. As you can see here, no discounts on the monthly plans, but right now the yearly plans have discounts. And then you're going to want to pair this with cloud storage. And last week we talked all about cloud storage, so go check out the full episode. On there, and you can get some deals on it. The one I was thinking about, because there's lifetime plans, is called P-Cloud. And let me just open a new tab to it. And you get lifetime payment. So $400 one-time payment, you get a lifetime of 2 terabytes. Right? Normally it's $600, but right now it's on sale. Or $200, 1 terabyte for 500 gigs. You know, and can do share link traffic. So we can do a one-time payment here. One-time payment here for life, right? And then your only annual fee that you're adding to everything else you pay for over a year is the email. So if you can afford that, by all means, P-Cloud has a lot of great things going for it. Again, you can check it out all here. If you want to see, there's the site we're looking at right now. Again, there's annual and monthly prices. You can get some good deals on cloud storage. And one thing I want to point out is if you, hold on a second here. There is a person on YouTube that talks all about cloud storage. And their video has a bunch of deals below. So if you want any of those for the cloud storage plans and you want some opinions on cloud storage, check out that video there after this stream, of course. And check it out. And if you want to get away from a certain big company, those are the options. Or those are a few of the options. Those are, I should say, those are my current favorite options that I've seen. Right? There's lots of options. They don't work for you, fine, but I think those are a combination of P-Cloud, if you can afford a lifetime, and then the Tuda email service is probably your best bet. You get a lot of features. You get privacy, and but again, it is an extra fee. And, does it work with your Android phones? I don't know. I'm guessing there's a, let's look it up. Email with Android. So yes, there is an official app for Tuda, so you can do that. You can use that on your Android phone. And I'm pretty sure there's an app for pCloud. Yeah, there's an app for pCloud as well. So you can put those two services on your Android. Just use your favorite search engine. Double check that there's an app that works on your devices, whether they be iOS or Android. That's the word I was looking for. And if you're an Apple user, you probably want to stick with an iCloud, unless you think that Apple is training their AI on your stuff, and then you'll need to find other solutions too. Again, pCloud and Tuda, from what I've seen and the brief amount of research I've done, those seem to be the best way if you still want email and cloud storage and be happy with what you get for their prices. Those seem to be the best combo of things that I can find right now. And if that changes, or if you know of anything else, let me know. I'll be happy to talk about it. Or if there's a site that you go, no, I use this site, and this site's been great, and okay, well, talk to me. Let me know. I'll be more than glad to take a look. All right. Also, the other week we talked about, my bag of chips is sort of in camera view. Let's just hide that. Move that over. There we go. There was no bag of chips slightly down here. So, we were talking about video mixers a while back. And if you are looking for one and you don't want to spend, the $500 for the Rode Video S, which is an amazing device, and if I had the money, I would totally get one. I think it's a great device, plus all the features. However, it's a lot. If you want something less expensive, that is just primarily a camera switcher, there is this option here called the Mixer Plus. And let's take a look at that. Boop, right here. It's this slick little box. And as you can tell, you get 4 inputs, program preview. Still, it has a nice touch screen. I'm sorry, this is not a touch screen. Not a touch screen. It has a nice screen. And you use this knob, and you push it down, and you use this knob to control the features. And, there's the back. So this is pretty good if you have multiple cameras and you're just kind of getting into it. You want to be able to switch between those cameras. For $234, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal for a switcher. It has picture-in-picture, logo overlay support, and you can even control PTZ cameras using the knob right there. Has microphone inputs, built-in display with real-time multi-view monitoring, so you can look at every camera hooked up on this display. if you want. You can see the well-lit scene here. Tells you where you are. Your zoom, your camera movement thingy. And yeah, so if you're interested in mixers and you don't need something as fully featured as the Rodecaster Video S, this is a good option for you. Other ones I've seen at this price point haven't been quite as happy with, but I think this has a good amount of features for the price to make it worthwhile. And this is probably one of the least expensive video switchers you'll find that has enough features to make it worthwhile. All right. And let's see. Let's move around. Obsidian stuff. I wanted to talk about one thing in Obsidian. And that was, and this has been around a while. I may have mentioned this before. But there is a plugin called Digital Garden for Obsidian. And so if you want to share parts of your Obsidian, if you want to share Obsidian notes out on the web so people can look at them, they won't be able to interact, but they'll be able to look at them. So say you're making a game, you want to have a knowledge repository, but you don't need your players to interact with it in any way. This is a good thing to take a look at. It is free. And I just want to take a quick look at the GitHub page and go through. We're going to ignore all this. What we want to do is, here's kind of a picture. You set up a home page. Now, as it says here, there is a bit of setup, but it allows you to do all this stuff, which is amazing. Initial setup, there's a lot here. So you'll need a GitHub account, you'll need a Vercel account. And once you do all that, it guides you through, which I like. And then when you're ready to publish a note in Obsidian, you do that in the properties by doing the 3 dashes. And then you set one note to be your home page. So between these 3 dashes, you put dg-home, space, true, and dg-publish, space, true. And then whatever page you put that on will be your home page. And then any pages you also want displayed, you just add the dg-publish. You don't need dg-home. You only need the home command on the page that's actually going to be your main interface. Otherwise, you just use backlinks and everything to connect to everything. And like it says here, only needs to be added to one note, not every note you'll publish. But that's all you need to do, is add this little bit extra, and you can add in other properties as usual. But as long as you have either, if it's your homepage, both of these, or if you have just the DG publish, it gets published on the web. So you could use all the notes you make in Obsidian for your TTRPG campaign, put them up there, and this is free. And you can even modify the template if you really want to. This is updating the template, advanced changes. There's a testing vault for local development. I mean, they do a good job. There's even a Discord server. Here's everyone that's contributed to it. And what I also like about this is this was updated recently. In fact, it was updated yesterday. So it's still active development. And if you're like me, you like Obsidian. Again, there's no interactive features. Now for interactive features, that's why I have the thing, another garden thing called Screen Garden. And it is a paid service, but it is a low fee per year. So my roleplay group decided to fund it for a year, and also the community here for Tech Friday has also funded it. So we have those. It has been wonderful. So check out Screen Garden if you want your players to be able to write notes within the world that you've created and interact that way. I would recommend Screen Garden. If you just want a go here knowledge repository and anything else you'll take care of and publish on your own, and you don't want your players to add notes to things or have their own section, then you use the Obsidian Digital Garden plugin. Again, the Obsidian Digital Garden plugin is free. Screen Garden, there's pricing, but it's very reasonable. You pay by team size, so you have 4 players. There's a per month or per user cost. And that's all explained in their pricing thing. You can look that up. I believe in you. I believe in your power of clicking. To look at that. But yes, so even though Screen Garden's paid, I have to say it's been brilliant for me. I use it often. All right. I did want to mention a couple of Black Friday deals because they are things we generally talk about. And so if you need something from, say, Elgato has Black Friday's deals going on now. They are changing. They're available on different dates. So keep up with that. You can just go to Elgato's main website. Click there. And, you'll see this. Rex hits a surprisingly high falsetto. I believe in a thing called... Hello. How you doing? So yeah, there's good deals. There are more deals coming up, as you can see, when these sales start. And we talk about Elgato a lot here, and I talk about my favorite thing, their Stream Decks, I should say, often. But yeah, if you want to save some monies and you're looking at Elgato, they make some good products. All right, and another thing I want to point out, this kind of brings us into TTRPG territory, is that there are a few third-party publishers of role-playing games and that are participating in the BackerKit holiday market. There's the main page. There's a whole list of sections, and we'll take a look at that right here. And so, role-playing games. Click the big role-playing button. Peace of mind, no AI, right there. And here you go. You have a bunch to choose from. However, we have Hit Point Press, Monty Cook Games, Eldritch Foundry. Who else do we talk about? You like Defiant? There's stuff there. So yeah, you can take a look at these bundles. Archie RPG books and nerdy hip t-shirts by Ramen Sandwich Press. All right, I'm kind of curious. Book of Change Meetings, so compatible with 5e or Pathfinder stuff. So yeah, a lot to look at. And if you don't want RPG stuff, there's comic books, plushies and toys, art. There's a lot going on in this sale. And let's look at tabletop. Story Engine deck, I like this. So if you want the PDF for that, or maybe they might even be selling the physical box. I don't know. I haven't looked at that. But yeah, here's some physical products as well. You can get their TTRPG themed and other games. So yeah, support some of the smaller creators. Take a look at that. All right. Also, in TTRPG news, going away from the holiday market, is Daggerheart announced they're going to have an expansion. Their first expansion ever. Oops, that is not the right link. I thought I copied the URL. Sorry. Copy that URL. Please paste that URL now. Thank you. There you go. And hi, Rex. How you doing? All right, and here's all the info on that. It's called Daggerheart, Hope and Fear. You get new classes: Witch, Warlock, Brawler, and Assassin. 130 monsters, over 130 monsters. You can pre-order it. It'll release summer of next year. If you get the pre-order, the rulebook PDF will be delivered 2 weeks before release. There's a video. There's some of what comes with the standard edition, $40. And gives you all the new options and the cards. Then there's the deluxe edition for $120. New Daggerheart stuff looks like, yeah, it does. Looks like a pretty good update to what they already have going. I really do need to dig into Daggerheart more, but that's there. All right, so that covers just about everything I had for Tech Friday today. Otherwise, we will talk about other things. We're almost to break. So we'll then wind it down. If you were just here for Tech Friday, thank you for watching. Stay tuned because we're going to talk more TTRPG stuff and some of my other plans for the future and brilliant things after the break. So thank you all for watching. If you are departing for other waters, have a great evening, weekend, morning, whenever you happen to see this, and I'll see you next week. All right. So, hey everybody, how you doing? I don't want to go to break quite yet. So to recap, if you're just joining, we talked about email providers, mentioned a mixer, talked about cloud storage Black Friday deals, Elgato Black Friday deals, sharing info using the Digital Garden plugin for Obsidian, the Backer Kit Holiday Market, and the Daggerheart expansion. So if you have any questions on those, please let me know. Talk about it. Otherwise, we will go on to various TTRPG news and other tech news that may have come up since I've been on, because occasionally that happens. So let me just prep a couple things here before we go to break. All right. Put that side up. And that side up. Okay. And next week, Tech Friday, we'll probably talk about some Black Friday deals and where to go to support independent creators or smaller creators. There are a lot of deals going on now, so look into that if you're looking for anything. Right now is a good time to check out people. And, you know, and even if your small independent creator isn't offering a Black Friday deal, look at their stuff. Maybe they have something that would be great that you'd like. And don't ask them for a Black Friday deal either, or if they're going to have a deal. Just support independent creators. All right. And I do want to talk about an idea that I have for a project that I want to do next year. And I'll talk all about that when we come back from break. So I will see you all in about 5 minutes. Be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. And so, let me organize myself here. I have a little foot warmer thingy down here, so I'm going to use it. I stand up and stretch during the break, so my feet are not the warm. There, now my feet are the warm. I am the warmed. All right, so I wanted to talk about e-zines because next year I want to make an e-zine. And I put up a post on Blue Sky asking if people wanted to see it in, have me make one about TTRPGs or tech, figuring, that one would be enough for an e-zine. And then the replies I have so far are, why not both? So, okay, look at both. And how to distribute an e-zine, I'm not sure. Would I use Obsidian and the Digital Garden plugin? Maybe. That could be neat. And then provide a link to where you can download it from a cloud storage drive somewhere. And so, yeah, the comments of do both tech and TTRPG in one zine. And so I was thinking about that, but I don't know what I would call it. What would sort of encapsulate both of those ideas in a title, right? Like here, it's easy. I can just say, I'm switching topics. It's my stream. But here's the thing you're encountering for the first time. You're reading it. And I need to be able to express what this title is, right? What you're getting yourself into. And I'm not sure what that title would be, so that you're getting into tech and a TTRPG discussion. Or one or the other, right? Both, sure. I would need a title that reflects that. And if it was just a singular topic, that's a little easier to come up with a title with. Something can pick up, look at, go, oh, okay. I think I kind of get what's going on here. But I don't know what I would call a thing. And again, if you want the e-zine to be just on one topic, let me know. But if you still want me to talk tech and TTRPG in one e-zine, keep those comments going too. Right? Just follow the Blue Sky post. And let me know what you would need or what you would like to see. Again, publishing it via I'm going to be typing it Obsidian. So that's why I was thinking, well, maybe if I release it onto using the Obsidian Digital Garden plugin, and then it would just be once a month. I don't want to do any more than that. And yeah, it would just be a few pages. So, or in this case, a few notes of Obsidian notes. And then I put it together in, say, a PDF or something. Have a cloud storage folder where you can just download that PDF if you want to read it on your device, or you can read it online. Provide both. I do not have the funds to print these in a physical format. So if you want to donate, go to my Ko-Fi or something like that and say, hey, this is for future easing physical publishing. Ko-Fi bot, you going? Oh, there you go. So ko-fy.com/DC Lasair, DCLASAIR. But I'm not going to have the money to do physical runs of these things. But that is next year. Sometime in hopefully early 2026. I want to get that together. Because I was looking at zines, I was looking at physical zines, and I may make a few zine-like things for just for self-promotion. But yeah, if a bunch of people wanted them printed, you'll have to take care of that yourself. I can't afford uh, physical publishing and then shipping unless people support me with it. So I have a link to a preferred printer if people want that, and it can be a separate thing. MCDM did not print their magazine because the logistics and cost meant it was not practical. Ah, yes. Yeah, if you want to share the link to preferred printer, that would be great. But yeah, so far the comments of me, if I make an e-zine, that it be both tech and TTRPG. So you'd get, and these e-zines are fairly small and compact. I'm not going to go quite as in depth as I do on the video. I'm not going to talk multiple things. I'm going to take one thing, talk about it, and maybe that's a couple of these smaller e-zine pages. Like, I don't want it to be. I don't want it to fill up a normal 8.5 by 11 page. I want to kind of think in the smaller e-zine format. And goodbye. Oh, you don't have one. I'm just saying that could be a way to go, as asking you to bear that cost is not practical. If you are going single color, you could set it up to easily print at Staples that has a print center. This is true. Yeah, so what I'm thinking about is, kind of keeping these smaller articles. So maybe taking one thing I talk about on a Tech Friday for that month. So one tech thing, one TTRPG thing, and figuring out about how many words you can fit on that small of a page that normal physical e-zine or zine. It's not an e-zine at that point. It's just zine would be, kind of respecting that time and that format in that way. And then if you were to download, say, the PDF version, it would be the smaller format thing, and you could just print it off how you needed to fold it if you wanted to print it off on your own. And so, 2-3 pages on a tech thing, 2-3 pages on a TTRPG thing, and that would get you. If I take one sheet of paper and fold it up, there's a lot of zines that comes out to about 8 pages. So if I did anywhere from 6 to 8 pages, that would hypothetically fit on one sheet of paper, and then you could just fold it and go, hey, here it is. That'd be ideal. I'd have a cover page and then a back page with how to find me and other links to support me and things like that. Yeah, because that's just the rabbit hole I've been down lately. All right, let's see what else we have to talk about. Okay. Most things on this site are all about Black Friday deals. Let's see. Read that later. No. If you ever played Zork, I remember Zork, text-based game. Microsoft acquired the license a few years ago when it acquired Activision in 2022. And they've released Zork open source under the MIT license. There's the article via Ars Technica. And so, yeah, if you want to play with Zork or modify it, 1, 2, or 3, there you go. Check out that article. It will take you to where you need to go. To find and play Zork. Zork and Zork 2 and Zork 3. So, you get the whole Zork trilogy. Okay. Anything else interesting via the tech sites? One more text. Oh, let me turn on the music. Turn it down a bit. Turn that on. All right. No, this is interesting. Android now works with Apple AirDrop for simple file sharing, starting with the Pixel 10. This is on Tech Radar. So Android Quick Share now works with Apple AirDrop for sharing files. So you can share files between Androids, iPhones, iPads, and Macs. And it's going to start off on Pixel 10 before rolling out to other Android devices. And that's in the rundown portion of that article I just shared. So yeah. Oh, there was something else. Going back to TTRPGs, because I just noticed I had this tab open for a reason, is that you can get Hero Forge gift cards right there. So if you use Hero Forge and want someone else to use Hero Forge, you can send them a gift card. And anyway, let's get into TTRPG news here. Put up usual suspects. Okay, take a look. Oh, we have talked about this before. I think just last week I mentioned it. But Forgotten Realms creator Ed Greenwood is going to be publishing other Forgotten Realms products, starting with the Dalelands. And there's the article on EN World, and Ed Greenwood made an announcement on his public Patreon about it finally. I had mentioned it because Brian Cortijo had talked about it at the Gen Con Forgotten Realms panel that had Ed Greenwood on it. So the site is Mythmakers. The project is Realmsbound. The first of these collections coming out next year is going to be for the Dalelands. So the idea is, they make a regional source book, then they make sort of a thing for encounters, and then some dungeons and some adventures. And so the idea is, as years pass, they take a section of the Forgotten Realms and do these deep dives into it, giving you four books. And so, yeah, it's there's a bunch of people behind it, and you can see it all on the main Realmsbound website, which is right here. So yeah, you're getting a lot of Forgotten Realms content coming out. The new books just released not that long ago on at your local game, at your FLGS, and on D&D Beyond. Right, and for next year, the Realmsbound will cover the Dalelands. And there's like I said, a bunch of people who have been writing and talking about the realms for years are all a part of this. It looks like it'll be an excellent project. You want to expand your realm's lore. Let's see. Talked about all of that. I needed to... Just scanning for any articles that we might be of interest. Oh, here is we talked about the backer kit. The backer kit holiday project. So here's an article covering some of what is available. Specific titles. Glad to see that Ed is getting to publish more stuff in the world that he has spent his life creating. Yeah. Yeah, and I like it because there's quite a few people who are passionate about this, about Forgotten Realms, that are all going in at it and it sounds really cool. So the backer kit holiday market we talked about earlier, go to this article and they have a selection of a few things that you can get. And performing the quick scan. Oh, when was this published? November 20th. Okay. There will be more Discworld RPG stuff and a board game, it looks like, from Modifius. You can find all that info right there. See here, we talked about the Daggerheart Hope and Fear expansion. I don't remember if we talked about the Mutants and Masterminds 4th edition. Thing. So, if you're interested in Mutants and Masterminds, they'll have a Kickstarter up in January. So if you're interested in that, there's the article on Green Ronin. And yeah, it's a new edition of Mutants and Masterminds coming to Kickstarter in just a couple months. Oh, and if you were in Zero's stream earlier, talked about Tolkien's writing desk on auction at Christie's. So there's the article. And, you know, in case you have Christie's money, which most of us do not, here's you can look at the pretty pictures, though. And it looks like a great desk. Like, you know, could I get one built to these specifications and not have it cost that much? I mean, it won't be his desk specifically, but, you know. I kind of dig the design going on there. For that much, I think I could have one built to fit me. Yeah, right? I should hope so. Do like the design kind of like the Disney animator's desk? Yeah, yeah. What is this? I'm not sure what this is. One moment. Oh, it's, okay. Got it. It is, Find Familiar Spirits launches Quest Ends Monk, their first ever cast strength whiskey release. So if that is, there's the article off Bleeding Cool. If you're interested. Let's see, we talked about Roll20 adding map pins previously. So the Saturday, going on to slightly TTRPG, well, very much TTRPG related, but not news related, personal TTRPG related. The Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend could be the wrap up of my 2-3 year long Spelljammer campaign. Either next session or the session after that. So our first session in December. And then I'm moving on to a Shadow Dark campaign, because I really want to try Shadow Dark, and I've even pitched running a small mini Shadow Dark campaign on a Twitch channel. So if that gets accepted, that'll be fun. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And then, I don't know, might try another game, might try Daggerheart, but I do want to get into another D&D campaign that, for various reasons, I let go, and I shouldn't have. But I do kind of want to revisit that little world I was creating there and form kind of a mini campaign. And hopefully that lasts another couple of years or so with my friends. Link to Disney Animator's Desk. Ooh, okay. Look. Oh, that's fancy. I like that too. Good luck with the new campaign. Always tough when you have to end one. Yeah. And thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to running a different system for a little bit. And then if my friends are really like, we're digging the Shadow Dark stuff, we want more, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll run more Shadow Dark then. But yeah, I do have a campaign that started off in 5th edition D&D that for various friend reasons I let go of, and I'd like to get back to it because got some more story there, and it would just be really fun. So I like the little world I was making as we went along, and it's not my big sort of core world, because I think we all have kind of our big core world that we have in our minds. So it'd be separate from that. But yeah, I kind of found a hook I liked, and I want to explore more with it. So we'll do the Shadow Dark campaign, which will be definitely a darker campaign than I usually run. Significantly less humor. And if this Shadow Dark idea gets to go on a Twitch channel, it's not going to be the humorous stuff that I usually do for charity games. It'll be a different vibe. There'll still be some of that humor in there because I can't help myself, but that won't be the focus. Speaking of charity games, I think I want to run a charity game next year, right around my birthday. I think would be a good time to do it. Just have to see who I can get together to play. And that charity game will be the usual weird comedy bit things that I do and all that, because I have a lot of fun with those. So yeah, next year plans, make a e-zine, and maybe put together, when I showed off my little D&D rules project done in a field notes, guys, maybe I put together a few of these to give out to people. I need to make one for myself too, and so yeah, I can afford getting enough copies of the pages and gluing them all in on my own. So that'd be all right. Yeah, I can make a few of those. So I'm getting into the small print game. Look at me. Or kind of, sort of. I've been watching a lot of videos on zines, and I don't know, just something about them has stuck in my brain. And I thought of doing a newsletter before. But that's just kind of one long email. I think breaking it up so it's more like the zine format would be cool. And that way, the page you read is just that topic, and then maybe the next few pages are just that topic, It's not one huge document you're scrolling through topic after topic. You're just kind of locked into those ideas on each page. Oh, and one more time, where did I close that? Oh, I closed that. One moment. There we go. Oh, there is something I also wanted to talk about, but I just remembered. But as soon as I can get this browser reloaded, what's going on? Oh, it had an update. Okay, that's okay. Thanks for the update, but I don't need it right now. So I talked about if you're switching email providers, check out, I think Tuda is a good idea, or at least a good idea to look at. Again, it's paid. And then for cloud storage, probably look at pCloud. And if you are looking for some deals on cloud storage, there are some limited time deals. This guy on YouTube who talks about cloud storage every week and is constantly updating has some deals in the description for cloud storage things. So take a look at that. If you want an overview of what's going on. Does a pretty good job on his videos. Let's see here. Okay. Another topic I wanted to talk about briefly was there's a lot of moving away from Windows chatter kind of going on, which for me, I don't think that can happen. Just, you know, Windows has the Microsoft Power Toys thing, which I use every day, so I would need some of that functionality. A lot of the stuff I have only works with Windows. Some of the programs don't have a Linux analog. So it's probably not practical for me to do it. And, you know, Windows 11 works fine. I don't have any issues with it. My issue with Windows 11 is how much AI is getting thrust into it. And that's the biggest issue. Right? So if you can't get away from it, you know, go ahead. You're going to find mass adoption of Linux distros when you almost completely take out the command line stuff. I know there's a few out there that do that. And I think before we see a really big surge in it, it's going to still be a few years yet. Where we do that because businesses rely on Windows and various programs there. And there's a lot of functionality in Windows. I mean, I open up Notepad just about every few days. You know, I always have Obsidian open, but I'm always using Notepad. So, okay, do you have something like Notepad? Do you have the same functionality? Does it read Markdown files? Like Obsidian does, you know. Can I use the plugins that I have on Obsidian in your Linux distro. And you know, the idea is to get away from Microsoft and Apple. And so the big thing is, if you really want everyone to use a Linux distro, it's got to be point and click. I got to be able to sell this to my parents and everything. They don't want to learn command line commands. They just want to go, there's the icon, click it, the thing happens. Right? They need a browser that works with all the sites they visit and all the things they need to do. But yeah, if you're like, we need command line to install, nope, it's just not going to work for a whole segment of people. And I think eventually it will get there where it's just, no, this is clearly the better idea for computing. It's slowly becoming the better idea for computer stuff. But there are too many things that relied on Windows. Even some gaming is not porting over to other systems and will probably remain on Windows. So I think there's a few hurdles yet to jump over before you can say, you know what? No, we're confident getting rid of this. Now, no matter what you do, there's going to be a learning curve, right? It's just going to work a little differently. But you gotta have that if you want mass adoption. You gotta be able to leave that command line invisible. There's no way I can get relatives to use the command line, right? Yeah, exactly. It's and I did read of a couple of, I forget there's so many distros out, I lose track of them quickly, but there are some that are more point and click than others. Nor would I want to have to try to fix what they would break with that level of power. Exactly that too, because sometimes, you know, people who watch this show are probably the techie for their family. Yeah, and like I said, Windows 11 works for me. My biggest problem that I had with Linux, again, AI stuff, bad, don't like it at all. That's my biggest problem. But before the AI stuff came in, my biggest problem with Windows 11 was it would change how I had my audio sources going if I, went into the Windows audio mixer thing and said, go to this line, go to that line. But everything else worked. Runs my machine, lets me get a browser up. I can do all the things I need to do. It's a fine system for navigating around. Still better than Windows 8, which I think isn't a hard bar, but since Windows 11 came out, you knew that the previous version of Windows would be end-of-lifing. So shouldn't have been a surprise. But yeah, the more AI that gets dumped at me, the less I want it. But the alternatives aren't quite where they need to be yet. At least for me, I don't. You know, I have a Rodecaster Duo here. And to do some of the things on the Rodecaster Duo, I need to use their software. And there's no Linux version of their software. And the Rodecaster Duo is in my production pipeline. Right, now if I got something like the Rodecaster Video S, I could do everything, well, just about everything through there. I could potentially do everything using the Rodecaster Video and then piping it out of the Rodecaster Video. Right, would be the other way I could go with a similar level of production. But again, if I wanted to use their software interface, I would be out of luck. But yeah, if I didn't have the setup I had, I would probably take a serious look at something like the Rodecaster Video S, because it will just do everything, and you can broadcast from the machine itself. But otherwise, yeah, it's probably going to be Windows for time being. And however, I do want to encourage, if you can break away from Windows and you find a distro that works for you, by all means, go for it. Use it. Do the thing. You know, if you're comfortable with some command line stuff, if you're good at it, do the thing. I'm not trying to discourage that. I'm just saying there's lots of practical reasons that not everyone can get away from Windows or wants to. I mean, if I'm a gamer, I'm probably gonna stick with Windows because I still get all the games I would like to play. Right? Like there's an app that works in Windows. There's an app store. There's a thing. So that would be the other thing they'd have to solve. Because if you can get the whole of the gaming community to come along for the ride, then you know you're not going to have any problems anymore. But until that time comes, yeah, we're on Windows. Yeah, and I had Windows 8. I didn't really enjoy Windows 8. It was okay. Like it did stuff, but it just wasn't a great experience. I think that was probably the worst Windows I used. Now, I haven't used every single version of Windows ever, but out of the ones I have, I really wouldn't want to go back to Windows 8. No. No, don't copy that aesthetic anywhere, please. Thank you. You know what I did like, though? And one thing I'm kind of sad that went away, that was a Windows product, was Windows Phone. I really liked the interface on Windows Phone. That was like my favorite way to use a phone. Just the folders, and you could tap, and it was so clean. Loved it. But of course, it wasn't marketed well and, never caught on, so... Yeah, and, another thing, as we're wrapping up here, talking about different devices and things like, same, I had a Windows Phone largely because it was cheaper than an iPhone and it worked. Yeah, right? I liked it way better than Android. iPhone was way too expensive, still is way too expensive for me. And yeah, they were great little devices. But speaking of devices, I think I talked about a little bit about this a couple weeks ago, maybe. Was the getting like a dedicated MP3 player type thing, and trying to find one of those. But those can get expensive real quick. And also, if I wanted to get away from Spotify, what would be a good alternative? Because I would really like one app that has music and podcasts like Spotify does, and not have to split that up between apps. There's a lot of just music services, but I listen to a whole lot of podcasts, so would really like one place for that functionality. I did try Tidal briefly a year ago or so. I've yet to find something like that. I want a decent music player and podcast app. Yeah. I did try Tidal. Tidal did sound better than Spotify. But now Spotify has their high-res audio. I haven't played with that yet. But there was no podcast. So I was out. Give me my floor wax and dessert topping already, you tech bros, right? Do the thing that makes it easier for me. But yeah, I'm thinking it would be nice to have a dedicated music player, so I could, put down my phone or put away for that and still listen to my audiobooks and my podcasts. And audiobooks. I have a thing. There is there is a sale going on. For a service, an audiobook service. No subscription, no membership fees, and it's called Chirp at chirpbooks.com. And they have some really good deals on audiobooks right now. Personally, I want a wet, dry media device in case I want to listen while swimming. Yeah, that'd be cool too. I would. Yeah, take something in a pool with you. Yeah. So yeah, I got a few audiobooks off of Chirp last night, and they regularly have some for like $4 to $6, but they're just having a really good sale right now on things. I don't know if the sale I got in on is still happening. Let me actually give me a moment. Let me look. Sign in. Yeah, so if you make an account, they have a massive Black Friday sale that they give you early access to their massive Black Friday sale. And you can get an audiobook for $4, $5. And they have a pretty good selection. Not quite as good as the Audible selection, but they do have a lot of really, really nice titles, and it's just a really good sale. So yeah, if you're looking for audiobooks, check out chirpbooks.com. Once you sign in, once you make an account and sign in, you'll have the massive Black Friday sale banner up. Free to make an account. And then they have an app that you play them in on your phone or other device. But yeah, when you can get a book that's over 20 hours for $5, that's a pretty good deal. So yeah, really, really solid selection. Out of all the audiobook places around, they have a pretty good selection. A lot of local library systems have audiobooks to download for free as well with an app. Yeah, if you can get on that with a local library, check that out as well, because those are some good deals as well. Just being able to listen to some audiobooks for free, as long as you have a library card, right? You've already paid for it. Libraries are great. Yeah. And what's the other audiobook selection I usually see recommended? Is Libro.fm is another one I see recommended, though I haven't taken time to look at their library lately. but they usually pop up in when you're looking for audiobooks. Let's see what they have in. Yeah, they have a really good selection going on here. But they do. And what's nice about them is that you make a free account, you choose a bookstore to support, and then there's the monthly subscription, which is $15, or you can buy them individually. So you don't have to sign up for a monthly subscription. But they do share profits with your audiobook purchases with your chosen bookstore. So that's an advantage to using them. A pretty nice selection. All right. I think it's time to wrap stuff up. Let's see who's on. We can send this lovely group of people over to. Or do I just... in stream... oh, hey. Looks like Selena's about to start. Yeah, Selena's playing Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode. Hasn't started up yet, so thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Come on by on Monday. I'll be playing more video games. I think I'm going to continue on with... well, what's this game called? I'm going to continue on with that game I played yesterday. You know, the one with about the things with the stuff in it. Kingdoms of the Dump, yes, which is a very great RPG. You can get on Steam. And thank you all for being here. Please be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. Have an excellent weekend. And stay tuned for the raid. I'll see you all on Monday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Bye.